he wins this event and Ryan Hardy does not make the final, we will have a new 2011 IBA World Champion. So that may go down at this event. Here we go. Live action out the back in the white jersey. Uri Valadao, the Brazilian. This guy has been on fire throughout the entire event. And here he is punching through the lip. Nice cylindrical roll. Can he kick out in front of the whitewash? And yes, he does. Uri Valadao.
Yes, Uri Valadao, the 2008 World Champion, getting things started in this heat. He is joined by fellow countryman and six-time World Champion Gilherme Tamega, as well as Mitch Rawlins from Australia, who I alluded to earlier, firmly placed in the top 8 on the Global Qualifier Series. You will see him as one of the top 24 riders next year on the Grand Slam Series Men's World Tour.
Nice.
And they are joined out in the water with the local Puerto Rican, Milton Montalvo.
Woo.
You know what, Manny? I was just looking again to make a real quick touch on the leaderboard standings. Jeff, we will see in the scene after the cutoff. And it looks like Kalani Latanzi, who came in with a total of 8 points, able to score 3 more. He's kind of on the bubble. He's looking at a total of 11 points through the leaderboard rounds. He's right there with Pierre-Louis Costas on the bubble. May make it in, may not.
You're right. And that seems to be the average score throughout the entire tour. 10 or 11 points coming out of the third round of the 3-round leaderboard system. If you're anywhere in that area, you do have a chance to advance on with the top 16. But it all comes down to the last heat of round number 3 of the leaderboard. Check this out. Down the beach, it is the local rider, Milton, pulling in, stalling, looking for that little cover-up, and he gets a little pocket ride. Not super deep on that wave, but a wave on his scorecard nonetheless. Wow, look at this beauty. Up and riding. Uri Valadao, he just got one. Here he is on this one. Bottom turning straight for the lip maneuver. Big roll. Nice wave for Uri Valadao, making that look easy. Great wave for the Brazilian. Former world champion, in fact, Uri Valadao. The Brazilians always pumping out serious contenders, and they have numerous riders with world titles coming out of Brazil. Uri Valadao, again, this guy has the skills, the talent, and the passion to make it to another world championship title. It may not go down this year, but I can see him pulling it out one more time in a year to come.
Yes, there you can see he is currently ranked 13th on the World Tour. Again, the top 16 of the top 24 will move on to next year's 2012 Grand Slam Series. The bottom 8, they will get dropped and replaced by the top 8 from the Global Qualifier Series. Meanwhile, out here today, coming into the seat, Uri Valadao with 2 second-place finishes through the first 2 rounds of the leaderboard segment for a total of 8 points that he's acquired. So he wants a good result here if he's going to – he wants a second or third at least in this heat if he's going to make it to the cutoff.
Here we go. Gilherme Tamega up and riding. Sorry to cut you off there, Jackson, but the live action is going on, and that's not going to wait for us. Gilherme with an in-and-out roll, and out the back he goes. Gilherme, first wave. Took him a while to get it.
So talking about one Brazilian and then the other Brazilian out in the water, taking off on that wave. Gilherme Tamega with a roll off the top, lands off the back. That'll get him on the board, but he's going to look for something better as he scored a .75. There you can see the breakdown out in the water. Uri Valadao out to the early lead with a 12.0. Milton Montalvo, the local Puerto Rican, in second with a 2.5. Gilherme Tamega currently sitting in third. And Mitch Rawlins sitting in fourth, yet to catch a wave.
We cannot count out Mitch Rawlins. He has been on fire with these conditions. 25 minutes remaining. It's still a ball game out there with all of these guys. Mitch Rawlins has been on cue as far as it comes to big moves in perfect conditions. Mitch Rawlins, he is hungry. And he's excited, too, because he's now on.
Yes, he will now be making his way into the Grand Slam Series. We've been commenting about it this entire competition, about how Mitch Rawlins has really matured into a solid competitor. Now at 28 years old, he's more mature, he's more consistent. Not only can he hit the big moves, but he can be consistent out in the water in a competition scenario.
It's kind of scary. I mean, he's going to I think now that his competition skills have been finely tuned, I can see him pulling off a world title as well within the next year or 2 years. I mean, if the conditions are sizable, if they're in the 4 to 8, 10-foot range, Mitch Rawlins can totally pull off a world title.
I would really like to sit down and pick his brain a little bit. Because
Speak of the devil.
Up and riding, Mitch Rawlins drives off the bottom, gets a nice cylindrical roll, resets his line, driving down the line, looking for some speed, looking for a section, but he's going to kick out because that one's going to close. So there you have it, Mitch Rawlins. As I was saying, I would love to sit down and pick Mitch's brain because I'm sure that if he's going to be on the Grand Slam Series for 2012 and be one of the top 24 contenders for the world title, he's not going to do it, you know. Partially, he's going to give it everything he's got, and he's going to be a legitimate threat on the tour next year.
Whew. So far, so good as far as the action is concerned here in the second day. I mean, the second day of the main event round, leaderboard rounds. And guess what? We do have the winner of the first heat of the day was Shaggy. Shaggy, where are you at?
Thanks, guys. I'm down here with Jeff. First man to get 18 points in the leaderboard round. Congratulations, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks, Shags. Yeah, it was a tough heat out there. I know all those guys are trying to get those points because a lot of them needed to requalify to go to the next round. And yeah, I just wanted to, just do my best and try and get as high a placing as I could to, to see where I come in the next round. So hopefully I can, just win that next heat and just advance to tomorrow. That's the main thing.
Talking of highs, you did a really high flip on your last wave. Do you want to tell us how that felt and that punctuated with a little ollie roll at the end?
Yeah, that felt really good. I did a nice air S or backflip off the first section, and it felt good because I was looking for that the whole heat. I got a couple barrels in the beginning, and they felt really good, but I couldn't get anything else for a while. It's just like the rest of the heat I was in slow motion, and it's like, come on, I just want to start doing something. So I was glad I finally was able to step it up and get a good wave.
Well, it was awesome to watch. It was great. So, yeah, congratulations. Go relax.
Thanks, Shags. Just want to say hi to Mike and Heather and all my family. Thanks, guys.
Hi, Mark and Heather, too. See ya. Bye. Back to you.
Hubbard has 3 wins in the leaderboard rounds, and he's pretty happy. I think he's the only rider that is able to say hi, honey, to his wife most times of any competitor. He's always in the interview area.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if there were a tally being kept with the amount of heat wins and event wins, I'm thinking Heather Hubbard's getting a lot of thank yous, more than the average tour wife. And there you can see out in the water, waves still rolling in. Our competitors waiting for the next round of sets to come in. Again, right now out in the water, we have the 5th heat of round 3. Gilherme Tamega in red, Uri Valadao in white. In yellow, Mitch Rawlins. In black, Milton Montalvo. This is the 2011 IBA and Cantu Pro Puerto Rico. We're coming to you live from Middles in Isabela, Puerto Rico. Can't say it enough, Manny. Waves have been pumping every day. It's beautiful here. I need an exclamation point after every sentence.
Exactly. Here we are with the current scores in this heat. Heat number 5, round number 3. Uri Valadao in the lead. Milton Montalvo, the Puerto Rican, in second. Gilherme Tamega needing a 2.61 for that second place. Rawlins, he is in 4th place. 20 minutes remaining. Still a ton of time for any one of these riders to pull ahead and take the 6 points awarded to that first placing.
Yes, and while we wait for the next round of sets to roll in, I'd like to clue people into a little something we went and did earlier on this trip.
All right, there's a little quick lull in the action. The tourism board actually hooked us up with a tour for some of the riders and staff. Check this out.
All right, and there you have it. Manny Vargas doing his best impersonation of Superman at Toro Verde, the Beast. That zip line over a mile in length, 825 feet above the ground.
That was pretty exciting. It was definitely a tour that I recommend to everybody, and I think we are going to get a small little group to get back out there. That 1 mile long zip line is like no other. That's the closest you can get to flying. Skydiving is different. You're coming down, but with that thing, you're flying across. So if you're in Puerto Rico and you want to join the crew of bodyboarders that are going to go out there, give me a holler at where can you give me a holler? Just send it over to messages@ibaworldtour.com, and we'll sift through the emails and make sure you put title Toro Verde.
Yes, Toro Verde in Orovocas, up in the mountains. Gorgeous up there. And I tell you what, I had a ton of fun being there with you, Manny, to do a little zip lining that day.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Okay, let's get back to the action. Here is the current standings. Uri Valadao still holding it down. 17 minutes, 50 seconds remaining. Gilherme Tamega on his wave right here, dropping a nice scoop into the barrel, and he drops in, back into the lineup, back into the pocket, and goes for a spin right there. Great wave for Gilherme Tamega.
Tamega finishing with the roll on that one after a nice little barrel ride, driving down the line. That should be a nice intermediate score for Gilherme, excuse me. And Tamega coming out here, I mean, he finished second in his first heat, won in round 2. He's already got 10 points, so I say he can take it easy in this heat. All he really needs is a third-place finish. But we know better than that. It's Gilherme Tamega. He doesn't take it easy out in the water.
Check this out. Mark McCarthy, the South African in the red jersey, coming up next, waxing up his board. And that's pretty much the location where you want to wax your board when you're riding prone. You got to cover both ends of the rails on the top deck. Go put it where you want to be. You want to be sticking to your board when you're landing these big maneuvers. You want to be able to have some grip on your board. And Mark McCarthy waxing it up.
And also there you can see Rafael Rivera getting ready for the next heat. Just to touch upon your little wax etiquette tips, a lot of prone guys, something you saw Mark doing real quick, a little bit on the underside of the nose.
Mitch Rawlins.
You can see Mitch gripping the nose of his board.
Oh,
drives down line, hits that big invert, lands and keeps on going. Gets a flip for good measure. I don't know if he's going to come out of the whitewater on that one, but still serious action from Mitch Rawlins.
A wave exchange going down. Uri Valadao, the Brazilian in the white jersey, streaking across the face of the wave and using all his speed, everything to punch through that lip, to go for a roll, and he pulls it off. He's out of there. Mitch Rawlins with a gigantic invert and lands perfectly. Let's take another look at that baby.
Just the invert alone on this wave. Here you can see him taking off, dropping down, driving for speed. Sets it up with that critical bottom turn, projects up, and hits it perfectly. Times it perfectly. Great execution, great projection. Lands, resets his line, and then he drives down, and he's going to go for a flip on the end section. I mean, the invert alone, good enough for, you know, a solid score from the judges, but that's not good enough for Mitch. He wants to put the exclamation point on this wave.
How do you do a backflip with that little bit of speed and that little bit of wave lip projecting out? And he almost pulled it off.
So a nice solid wave there from Mitch. Also a follow-up wave right behind that from Uri Valadao. So a quick exchange between the Australian and one of the two Brazilians out in the water right now. Mitch won both of his first two heats. And I think he's out there looking to win his third. He wants to pull the trifecta like Jeff just did in that last heat.
Look at this guy right here, Mark McCarthy. He knows that there is a possibility for him to walk away with a world title coming down to the wire here in the 2011 World Tour. He just has to wait to make sure all the pieces fall in the right place. He still has a chance.
What he needs to do first, though, is focus on his round 3 heat. He has a second place in his first 2 rounds. He needs a solid result to make that top 16 cutoff, or it's a moot point. If he doesn't make the cutoff, he's pretty much eliminated from World Tour title contention.
Wow, look at that. Mitch Rawlins on his last wave, just shooting to the top first place position here in this heat. For those of you who are just tuning in, Jackson, give them the lowdown on the leaderboard system.
All right, with the leaderboard system, we have 32 riders, the top 24 ranked riders on the Grand Slam Series Men's World Tour. They are joined by wildcards and trialists to fill out the field of 32 riders. They go through a series of 3 rounds of competition. First place is awarded 6 points, second place 4 points, third place 2, and fourth place gets 1 point. Those points are tallied through the course of 3 rounds, and at the end of the 3 rounds, the top 16 riders with the most points advance on to man-on-man elimination heats, and they progress through round 4, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, until a winner is determined. And right now in prime position, we saw Jeff Hubbard in that last heat. Jeff winning all 3 of his leaderboard heats, so solidly in the lead. But Mitch, who came into round 3 with 2 wins and the benefit of a 10-point score, a perfect score from round 1 on his huge air reverse, he's looking to do likewise and come out on top in this and pull off the trifecta win in the leaderboard rounds.
There we go. Now we are live with our scoring system. It took us a while to get it, but we are now in position to give you all the scores on our sheet. So let's do a quick rundown.
All right, right now out in the water in the lead, Mitch Rawlins in the yellow jersey from Australia has a 5.25 on his first wave. That last wave scored a 9.25 with the judges. So that catapults him into the top spot for this heat. He is followed by Gilherme Tamega in the red jersey, who has a 7.0 and 6.6. Currently in third, Uri Valadao has a 6.5 and a 6.75, and they're followed by Milton Montalvo with a 2.5 and a 7.1.
Well, with Mitch Rawlins with only 2 waves, leading the charge of 5.25 and a 9.25, that just gives you an idea of where this guy is heading in this competition.
Right now he's headed down the line, goes for another flip off of that section, and comes out
How
to the
in the heck
whitewater.
did he pull that off?
He's only had 3 waves in this heat, but he's maximizing all of his rides.
I actually put my head down saying, okay, Mitch Rawlins, he's not going to do it. He's not going to pull it off because there's a section coming at him, and they converge into one, and there's a lot of power behind that whitewash when that happens. And he wasn't in position to pull off that landing, but he did.
And up and riding, we have Milton Montalvo from Puerto Rico in the black jersey, going for the roll off of that end section.
That was kind of a weird roll. It bounced him, and it looked like he was doing a roll right to the camera. It was pretty cool looking.
The way he hit it, it looked like he was going to go for an invert. He stalled it and then finished the rotation. It was almost like a Rolo fakie.
Nice. All right, check this out. Another look at Mitch Rawlins' wave.
Yes, if you watch this replay, he's driving down the line, and the section's about to close out. He flips, and as he's coming down, that oncoming section comes. It looks like that oncoming section
Right
is just
there.
going to completely annihilate him, and then it comes around and pops out of the whitewater, completes the maneuver, rides it out.
There are not many bodyboarders that can pull off that move in that situation. Mitch Rawlins is one of those guys that can. Here is Milton Montalvo on this wave.
Here's the replay. Again, Milton driving down, hits off the section like he's going to invert, and then a slow delay, and then gets the roll around. Milton scoring a 4.0 on that one.
Well, he's sitting on a 7.1 as well, so Milton only needing a 7.86 for that first place spot, which is totally possible.
And there you can see Mitch Rawlins paddling back out, scoring a 5.7 on his last wave. A good intermediate mid-range score on that one. I'm guessing since it was a shorter ride and it wasn't the cleanest of maneuvering, that's why he got the 5.7. If it had been a cleaner maneuver in a more critical section, it probably would have maximized his point score a little bit more.
Plus, the wave wasn't that big either. It was a medium size, maybe on the smaller size, but still good. I mean, that's a solid low score of 5.7, and that is, his second high scoring wave.
Yes, it was good enough to improve upon his 5.25, which was his secondary score previous to that wave. So, again, Mitch Rawlins improving his situation, sitting in the top spot, a combined 14.95 out of 20 to hold the lead with about 9 minutes remaining there. Again, you can see the graphic at the bottom of your screen showing the standings out in the water as we speak. We have just under 9 minutes remaining, and have you taken a look at the next heat, Manny? They showed the graphic before. They showed the guys on the beach getting ready. We're going to see Mark McCarthy, Mike Stewart, and then two of the local Puerto Ricans, Jorge Colomer and Rafael Rivera, doing battle out in the water.
Well, I love the leaderboard round system. Not only do you get to see your favorite rider 3 times, but all these heats could be a final on any other given day. So it's very exciting because there's nonstop action from all these riders, and I'm pretty excited for the last few heats as well. So Jackson, what are you looking at?
Right now, I am looking at the leaderboard standings after round 2. Right now, it looks like in this next heat, we mentioned Mark McCarthy is going to really need a good result. Even more so than that, Mike Stewart on the verge of being eliminated. Mike needs to do well at this event and Fronton if he's going to have a shot at holding on to that top 16 spot, that 16th place that he's in, because he's right on the bubble right now. There's the potential that we could very well see Mike Stewart fall off of the Men's World Tour and have to do the Qualifier Series Tour next year. And that would be the first time in pretty much bodyboarding history that Mike Stewart would not be in contention for a world title. And I don't know about you, but I don't think I'm ready to see that.
I think Stewart he'll actually have more time to actually do other things, but still concentrate on the qualifying series. But you know what? He can't let his guard down because the new generation are hungrier than ever.
Yes, Mike's still a viable threat out in the water, even at 48 years old. But there's a lot of young guns around the world. Australia, the Canary Islands, Brazil. We've been touching on it all event. Even here in Puerto Rico, that could really make life difficult for Mike if he had to compete full-time on the qualifier series.
Look at this. Somebody dropping in. It is Milton Montalvo, the Puerto Rican, going left. Tons of speed. Get that flag out of the way. Going for a roll. And the cameraman shooting into the priority flags. And Milton Montalvo, the Puerto Rican in the black jersey, putting together a 1 maneuver wave. And not bad. It's not a bad one.
All right, so we'll wait for the score to drop on that. Also,
Mitch Rawlins taking a look and pulling back on that one. But on the left, Uri Valadao dropping in the white jersey. Oh, my!
Wow, Uri Valadao boosting off of that end section.
Woo-hoo-hoo. It was quiet right before he hit that section. All of a sudden, boom! Big exploding air reverse off that oncoming section.
The former 2008 world champ launching an air reverse off of that oncoming end section on the left over there. And here's the replay.
All right, so it looks like he's just concentrating on that section, gets into that speed position, full speed ahead, and then hits this perfectly. Unfortunately, he could not get projected out towards the beach, and he lands behind the wave and cannot pull off that maneuver, but a big, big air reverse off that nice section.
Yes, and he will be given a 2.0 for the effort. If he had landed that ahead of the whitewater and landed it cleanly, that would have been maximum points awards from the judges.
Woo, 5 minutes, 28 seconds as Gilherme Tamega waiting patiently on the outside with Mitch Rawlins. Both of them, ears are focused on what Juan Santos, the beach commentator, is saying. Juan is delivering the points, delivering the priority, delivering everything so the riders can hear.
Yeah, right now, Mitch in the lead, GT in second, out in the water in this heat. Both of these guys looking to advance on to the top 16 cut and make the man-on-man elimination round.
Another beautiful day here in Isabela, Puerto Rico. The sun is not out, but it's just, at least I'm not sweating as much as I was yesterday at this time. Oh, man, it was crazy yesterday.
Yeah, we had, yesterday it was very humid, very hot, and then in the late day, once we gotten underway with round 3, weather moved in and kind of changed things up a little bit. We got really strong onshores yesterday, some heavy rain. We ended up calling off competition, and here we are finishing round 3 this morning. But this morning, a little overcast, a little cooler, but still a beautiful morning here in Isabela.
I'm going to see if the production guys have the clip ready, and I got word they do. Let's take another look at that massive invert from Mitch Rawlins.
Yes, here we are earlier in this heat. Mitch Rawlins taking off dropping down, driving down the line, cranks off the bottom, and
we'll come back to that. Look at this live action. Mitch Rawlins full speed ahead, big section, and he goes for another inverted aerial assault. Mitch Rawlins pulls that off as well. Mitch Rawlins on a different level here in heat number 5 of round number 3. So Mitch Rawlins on fire. Can we get back to that clip? Yes, here it is. The other wave that Mitch Rawlins had, that 9.25, a massive aerial assault. Check this out.
They're almost mirror images of each other, but this is the earlier one. Mitch drawing a really clean line, cranking off the bottom. Here you can see he drives up to the top, projects off of this section perfectly, timed it perfect, good projection, nice form, lands it back in the pocket, and then he's going to go and try and hit a flip off the end section. It was an incomplete maneuver, but Mitch trying to kill it out there right now. He's trying to leave no doubt that, you know, he's going to be somebody to deal with in round 4. So, again, Mitch Rawlins, you know, winning his first 2 heats, he's looking to make it. I keep referring to it as a trifecta, but, you know, Jeff Hubbard already won his first, won the 3 leaderboard rounds he had. Mitch looking to do likewise there. You can see him paddling back out. Mitch has to be considered one of the favorites in this event if he wins this and pulls off 3 leaderboard wins and then goes into round 4. He'll be very, very dangerous, very difficult to put out of competition.
All right, so guess what, ladies and gentlemen, one of our top riders, the one who is within striking distance to Jeff Hubbard, the tour leader, Ryan Hardy. Ryan Hardy is celebrating a birthday today, so happy birthday to Mr. Ryan Hardy, and he's happy, all smiles this morning.
There you can see him hanging out on the beach with the boys. Happy birthday, hardballs, up and riding.
Uri Valadao, the Brazilian, nice air roll spin right there, and comes into the inside section, big extended roll, nice maneuver. Nice wave. Great wave for Uri Valadao.
There you can see him claiming it as the end, riding out of the white water and completing the wave before turning around and paddling back out to the lineup.
A lot of these riders are throwing up their hands, not only to, well, probably, wait, we'll get back to it right now because we got Mitch Rawlins going streaking full speed ahead on this left, sees an oncoming section, whips around a reverse and cannot complete it. That was the only thing Mitch did on that wave. And another wave right here, the local rider, Milton.
Milton Montalvo driving through the barrel section, comes out, rolls. Nice barrel to roll combination there. Still going. Smaller wave on the left, but trying to combo the heck out of this thing. Another spin, another roll. So a barrel to a roll to a spin to a roll. A nice combination of maneuvers on that smaller left. You guys see, there you can see Milton ducking under as the whitewater coming in. Milton, again, one of the local Puerto Rican riders, 27-year-old Puerto Rican local, made it through the trials. Calls Margara his home break. Margara.
So Milton, he is one of 6 Puerto Ricans still in the competition. So we will see where he's sitting. Where is he sitting exactly on the leaderboard round?
Milton Montalvo sat in 28th place coming into the round with 2 points.
Gilherme Tamega on the outside pulls in to the barrel and cannot make it out. He thought he was going to actually make it out of that barrel, which I don't doubt. This guy can make it out of anything, but nothing there for Gilherme on that wave.
Yeah, if anybody's ever seen a Tamega ride any wave anywhere in the world, whether it's pipe, whether it's Zicatella, whether it's, Chopu, he knows how to drive through a barrel.
Mitch Rawlins up and riding. Last wave of the heat. The horn has sounded. This is Mitch Rawlins on the last wave. And boom!
Oh, Mitch Rawlins with a nice air reverse off of that end section. And he comes out ahead of it. Nice way to finish that heat. A nice exclamation point. I think that might actually be able to contend with that 6.85 he got for a second high score.
Mitch Rawlins in full command of this heat. And here he is on this wave. Last wave under the horn. And he finds a nice pocket trim right there, maintains his speed, holds that speed line, and he sees this section, eyes it perfectly, goes straight in a perfect reverse spin section and pulls it off, almost lands completely all the way around and pulls it off flawlessly. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a textbook reverse spin from the Australian Mitch Rawlins.